Hello, everyone, and welcome to the HMG New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom 20 review show. I am your host, Jimmy T. My co-host is the best in the world, Jamie the Vet Williams. And of course, we got the HMG's own doctor, Dr. Michael Jargo, in the house. Fellas, welcome to the Wrestle Kingdom review show. And Vet, I'll start off with you. Were you pumped to watch something different for once, other than the same old crap that we usually always talk about?
No, but this is the first New Japan I've watched since the last Wrestle Kingdom.
Right.
You know, I've completely gone all year without watching or caring. And it's not everybody's fault. It's just a confluence of things, such as, we'll get to you in a second. It's just the problem of having to watch so much wrestling, all the time, and other things that come up in life that just take away some extra time. So it was one of those things where I had to look at like, well, what am I going to cut? But the prospect of doing a show is something that's motivating. So I was happy to get together with you guys, and if I had to watch 5 hours of bullshit or whatever to make that happen so I can confidently speak on it, then that's a small sacrifice that I'm very willing to make, because I don't get to see this guy very often, Jimmy.
That's true. Neither do I, man. And I'm glad he's here, actually. Jargo, welcome back, man. It's been a while, but man, it's always a pleasure having you on.
Well, it's good to be here, man. And I'm kind of in the same camp as the Vet. Like I have been the biggest advocate for New Japan Pro Wrestling that I know in recent history, but very, very checked out. And so it was nice to jump back in a little bit here and see how much nothing has really changed. Like, we still badly need to make new stars. We're still badly relying on that older generation. I mean, no better testament to that than you have Okada and Tanahashi in the main event rather than the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, which it no longer exists. Good on New Japan. They actually got one right, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So I'm looking forward to this. Always great to sit down with you two gentlemen and talk about some wrestling that doesn't suck quite as bad as American pro wrestling does right now. Like, I'm just super checked out. I was, Jimmy. I was excited to sit down and watch something that was not American professional wrestling because, I mean, I've watched some lucha, with the whole AAA thing. People have been ranting and raving about how great CMLL is. I don't know. I'm kind of with the Vet. Like, pro wrestling is just not in a good place right now.
It isn't.
No matter what. Sorry, Jimmy. No matter what, you could take the, like Jargo said, it's the talent, because that New Japan knows how to put on a show as far as the production and everything. So from top to bottom, you're seeing the same show that you've always seen, and the things that you've come to know and love from the presentation, or come to hate. Some of the same problems that they have are still there too, but that's just the way they do things. Nobody's perfect, but it's the plug. If you plug in the older talent, not older now, but as in going backwards and looking at these shows when they had a different roster of people, and a lot of these guys that are main eventing were in black trunks, it was much more enjoyable because the people were better. And it's nobody's real fault. If this is who's applying to the dojo and this is who we're getting, there's only so much lemonade that can be made with these guys. So some are okay, some are never going to be it, and I think we're going to talk about those as we go on. But one thing that we can all agree is that, like, just turning on the New Japan show, it's like very comforting to see, like, yes, these camera angles, these dissolves and transitions, and everything that that they do well and better than most. At least that's still on full display, so you can at least enjoy the show, right, Triple H?
Well, and I think there's one thing that you hit on there that's really, really important, Vet, and it's something that AEW talked about at the very, very beginning of AEW, that they wanted a more sports-like presentation. And yet you watch AEW and you're like, nope, this is the same crap that I see on Monday nights and on Friday nights, right? I mean, just the way that they present professional wrestling. If you want a more sports-like presentation, watch New Japan. They present professional wrestling like a sport, where rather than the talent playing to the cameras are following the talent. It's shot like a sporting event. And if you want a sports-like presentation, this is how you do it. And it's simply that. Rather than the cameras reacting to the talent, just do what you do. The cameras are just there to capture it. That's all that they are there for. Just like in a football game. Yeah, the cameras are set up in specific places, but they're reacting to you. They're following you, not the other way around. To me, that's the single biggest difference in the presentation between Japanese pro wrestling and American pro wrestling, and why it feels so different to me.
Can you imagine an NFL receiver not making a catch because it wasn't on the hard cam side?
Right? Right?
I know, how dumb is that?
Sorry, coach, I couldn't get that ball, man.
Well, and it's the same thing with commercial breaks. And I've never understood why people can't wrap their heads around this. When I'm watching a football game, you know what they don't do in the middle of a drive? Go to commercial. Like, go to commercial between matches. Like, this should not be that hard. You don't interrupt the action on the field to go to commercial break. And I mean, I realize it's pay-per-view, but every New Japan show is that way, where it's just the action and cut out all the crap.
It's true. Facts. And you know what? Like you guys said, for me, it was a breath of fresh air actually watching New Japan. And I kind of missed it actually now that I did watch it. But like you guys, I haven't watched it since the last Wrestle Kingdom. And before that, it was probably the Wrestle Kingdom before that. So I've been very...
So here's the real question. Are either one of you going to keep watching going forward? Or are you going to wait until next Wrestle Kingdom? Was there anything on this show that says, nope, I've got to watch New Beginning in Osaka?
That's
Absolutely
a good
not.
question. Yeah.
And
Absolutely
that's
not.
the problem.
But
I mean, do you feel the same? Okay, go Vet.
But I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I will just give it a little bit of a look. Just here and there for reasons. But I'll like I said, we can get into that as Jimmy's runs down the card. It'll probably trigger things on my memory because I didn't make any notes or anything. So
No, you're right. Yeah, and I'm sure things will get triggered. But before we do that, do you feel the same way though? Yeah. But do you feel the same way, Jargo?
I mean, I feel like the answer to that question speaks to this simple statement. How many of us got out of bed and watched New Year's Dash this morning?
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, in fairness, you know,
and I'm glad I did.
My schedule, it means that New Year's Dash was on kind of in the middle of my day, so it wouldn't have mattered. But I looked at it and I was like, I ain't watching this shit. So I watched the main event. And again, we'll get into that.
The event was great. I enjoyed the hell out of that.
Yeah, we'll get in. We'll talk about that later, if nothing else. Depending on how much of New Year's Dash we talk about, but yeah, it was just looking at the card. I'm like, well, most of this is just last night shuffled around as it usually is. I can't, I'm not gonna knock them for that because they've always done that. But yeah.
This is interesting in a weird way. It was kind of like, well, I guess SmackDown now, right? Because it was 3 hours, and here are your match times: 10 minutes and 23 seconds, 8 minutes and 43 seconds, 9 minutes and 23 seconds, 10 minutes and 31 seconds, 5 minutes and 37 seconds, 8 minutes and 56 seconds, 7 minutes and 20 seconds, and then your main event of 26 minutes and 22 seconds. So clearly very, very heavy on the storyline, which is what we expect from New Year's Dash as we kind of start plotting out where we're going to go for 2026. And I'm excited. I don't think it's going to work, but I'm excited.
All right. Nice,
I think I'll give it one more chance. It got me happy enough to watch maybe another show and see where it takes me from there. But anyway, let's get into Wrestle Kingdom, shall we, fellas? Because first, and I'm just going to gloss through these tag matches, really. I'm not going to go through,
What about the pre-show, Jimmy? Did you watch the pre-show?
I was going to say, it starts with a singles match. What are you talking about?
Really? For me, I had the tag match.
Chris Brooks versus El Fat Tasmo.
That was the second match.
Well, it's
yeah.
the
There was a
first
match before that. There was
a match.
Yeah, but it was a young lion match, so it doesn't
Right.
really count.
And I was just, okay, fair enough.
Well, again, if this is the future of the New Japan, then I'm sad, but you know.
They're pretty look, I'll get into it quickly. I'll just say who won. But we do have a Young Lions match, and it was the first match of the pre-show. It is between Katsuya Murashima and Masatora Yasura, defeating Shomo Kato and Tatsuya Matsumoto via squat, jumping, Boston Crab, which I actually didn't mind. I'm not gonna lie.
It actually looked pretty vicious, really.
It did.
I mean, when you think about the anatomy,
and just the way he was just rocking on it, that was actually not bad, pretty cool. But other than that, this match really sucked, and then nearly put me to sleep. Vet, did you nearly fall asleep watching this match?
It's not so much that, it's just that, you know, there were guys in the past that were going through the Young Lion program that I would just look at and be like, ooh. And these guys ain't it. You know, they're just not. These people just aren't applying. I guess what we're going through as fans is like what other wrestlers are going, the potential wrestlers are going to, being inspired. Like, why would I want to join up to be part of this? It's not as prestigious as it was. Maybe I'm just not as interested. So now we could all be surprised in the future. I just don't, I just don't know how much we're willing to invest to see how surprised we're going to be.
Well, hopefully, who knows? Maybe they'll prove us wrong, but you never know. But to me, yeah, I mean, the guy that won, the dude that had I think it's a birthmark on his arm. I don't know if you guys noticed that, right? I'm surprised they went with this guy. They seem to like him.
That guy's been a Young Lion forever. How long has he been there? It's time.
Well, there was talk on commentary about at least a couple of them leaving for excursion.
Okay.
So
I was listening to him in Japanese just quietly, so I didn't know if they said that. I just prefer the Japanese commentary, only because the English ones can be a little cheesy to me. But in saying that, Jargo, did you even care about this match? Anything to talk about? I mean,
kind of like the Vet. I enjoy watching the Young Lions just to see kind of what's in the pipeline and what's coming through the dojo, and it's interesting. I never expect a good match. I mean, I know they're Young Lions. I know what I'm going to get. I know like the 6 moves that I'm going to see, and I know I'm going to see a Boston Crab. I wasn't expecting a jumping Boston Crab. I was impressed by that. There was one of these Young Lions that I kind of liked, and it was the one in the black trunks.
Yeah, I do see something in that guy.
Yeah, there's just something about it.
And he probably got in trouble for doing that jumping Boston Crab too. Probably got caned.
I when he first did that, my immediate thought was, "Oh, I wonder if that was approved," because it's the Young Lions, like that's you get what you get. You get.
And
what
I did like that. That was a cool finish for me. You know what surprised me, and we'll move on after this. I thought the other 2 guys, the team that lost, actually looked kind of good compared to the guys that won. But I guess New Japan see it differently. But if anyone, they look kind of all right.
The thing I watch when I'm watching Young Lions matches is their arm drags. That's literally what I watch.
They love doing it too, dude.
Well, and it's like one of the 6 moves, right?
Right. Absolutely.
But after you see like 18,000 arm drags, you can start, even as a novice who's never stepped inside of a professional wrestling ring, you're like, oh, that guy's arm drag looks really good, and that guy's arm drag looks like shit. And after you see so many of them, you can start to get some sort of sense of, oh, that guy's got something. I'm not sure what it is, but he's got something. I like Tsuji. I mean, I remember Tsuji when he was a Young Lion. And everybody knew in looking at Tsuji, oh, there's something there. There's something there.
That was the last half-decent batch of wrestlers, really, that they had, when you think about it. But they should have been higher at a higher level, though.
Oh, if Kitamura could have, if he didn't have that terrible accident, my God. He would be at the top of the card right now. He'd be there with Tsuji.
100%. 100%. Yeah. Vet, do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, Tsuji wasn't even the standout of that class, and even then, you could still say, "Well, but there's something about
that guy."
It's true.
Something, but yeah, that's just I mean, and if you know, we spent a sort of inordinate amount of time on a pre-show Young Lions match, I understand, but that's not going to be a harbinger of what this show's going to be. But I'm just saying that I wanted to point out that, you know, for the people that are watching just to watch us and don't really know or care about, you know, New Japan or Japanese wrestling or whatever, the young lions that are like the trainees and stuff, they're only allowed to do certain things. So they're very restricted in their performance. And that's so that they can learn to get over by doing nothing, which is very important. It means when they go anywhere in the world, when people don't know who they are and don't know their name, they'll be able to perform and get over with any crowd, because they've been able to get over in front of the hometown crowd by doing, as Jargo said, the 6 moves they're allowed to do. They're not even allowed to do certain moves. They can't go into business for themselves. They just have to have basic matches, and they have to get over in front of the crowd. So if you could do that, then you should be in good shape traveling around and being able to get over for at least just one match. So that's the purpose of that. Just so everybody knows.
And I also like, it puts everybody on an even playing field.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't get somebody going out there and just doing a bunch of flashy moves, because that's what they're there for. They're there to be evaluated through their training process.
And it
they
checks
just get
their
to do it in
egos.
front of a live crowd.
100%. And it checks their egos as well, you know, by doing that, because then everyone's on the same plane. Do you know what I mean? No one's supposed to outdo the other one, which is a great system, really, to do. And that's what I appreciate about Japanese wrestling in general, and just the culture, is the way they take it so serious. It works. So like with the dojos, and whatever rest is staying and sleeping in the dojo and having to do all these chores. Not only do they teach you to become a wrestler, but they teach you how to be a man too. You know what I mean? And that's what really stands out compared to any other, you know, pro wrestling promotion in the world. And that's the one thing I can actually appreciate about New Japan Pro Wrestling, and even all the other Japanese promotions too.
Yeah,
they essentially do the same thing, right? So that's the plus side, and that's maybe something even WWE should look into doing. I doubt they'll ever do it, but I think it would be even better for them to even do something like that. But that's just me.
It was called Deep South. No,
I'm
just kidding. That's not even nearly the same thing.
Yeah, no, it's not, right. But then again, you did stay, when you were in OVW, you were living in Kentucky. So, I mean, in a way, it's the same
I stayed
thing.
there. And in many ways, it's like we weren't allowed to do certain things.
Really?
So we still had to learn with the basics. And that's when we learned that the moves themselves don't matter. You can make whatever thing you're doing matter because of who you are. Anyways, what's the next match, Jimmy?
Let's get into the next one. It's Jargo's favorite boy. I know apparently he's real fat, but you know what? I appreciate him, and I'll say why. It is El Phantasmo against Chris Brooks, and it is for the New Japan World Television Championship. And thank God El Phantasmo does win. Brooks I've seen around, you know, here and there. It just looks so dumb when he comes out, like he's all serious, and then you got a bunch of clowns with him, pretty much.
That guy's the shits. I don't know how he got a match on this stage. He's one of the worst wrestlers I've ever seen.
He's pretty bad. Yeah, DDT is just horrendous, man. Let's be honest. I mean, God, horrendous.
Yeah. Go through all that dojo discipline and training and stuff. Wrestle a doll and end up like Chris Brooks. That's great. And El Phantasmo, you said you called him fat. I don't think he's fat enough. What happened to him? He lost whatever muscle that he used to have. Did he? Well, he did have horrific injuries, didn't he, or something like that?
Yeah,
somewhat
cancer,
recently.
Man.
Yeah.
I called him El Fat Tasmo, and it's not that he's fat. It's that we went through this entire thing with El Phantasmo wanting to become a heavyweight, so he put on a bunch of weight that is not correct for his frame. Like, what is the shame in just being a really, really good junior heavyweight, especially when you move to heavyweight and wrestle like you're a junior heavyweight? Like, he still wrestles exactly the same way, except now he's carrying so much more weight. And I don't understand it. Like, he was such a good junior heavyweight. And so now, rather than being a good junior heavyweight on the Wrestle Kingdom card, you want to be a heavyweight so that you can work on the pre-show of the Wrestle Kingdom card. Like, I don't understand it. Like, just be a junior heavyweight. There's no shame in being a junior heavyweight. Hiromu's the same way. Hiromu put on a whole bunch of weight because he wanted to move up to heavyweight, and it does not fit his frame. Doesn't fit his frame. He looks like shit.
Well, the reason they're doing it is because there's still a prestige associated with heavyweight, and you've got a ceiling at junior, and they just get tired of it. They get tired of that. They get tired of that thing because even though it's supposed to be kayfabe, but in some ways it's real. So now there's guys that are like, I don't know about the whole, I guess for some people it's much more important to visibly put on the weight. Because there's other guys that I swear just said they were heavyweight one day and didn't change a thing. But
Shingo Takagi.
Yeah. Right. So even before,
remember when they tried to tell us Shingo was a junior heavyweight? Like, come on.
Right. Yeah.
But it's like 260 pounds. Come on.
Right. But if we were all using people's shoot weight, they'd still all be in junior heavyweight. So it doesn't matter. Like the whole idea of, I appreciate the separation of the weight classes, but it does mean limited opportunities for them.
But wouldn't
you do feel like a second-class citizen doing that.
Wouldn't you rather be a junior heavyweight third from the top on Wrestle Kingdom rather than a heavyweight in the second pre-show match?
Well,
I mean, that's not what you, obviously that's not what you that's not what your ambition is when you do that. The hope is that the company will see you for what you're worth and put you in the place that you belong. I mean, in this card particular,
it's El Phantasmo.
In this card in particular, there was no place for anybody.
No.
Yeah. So
no, really
that's it's the shows on the rest of the year that you're trying to get. Ain't nobody gonna get a spot on Tanahashi's retirement night. No. So that's but you should have something a little better than fucking Chris Brooks. That guy's gonna hurt you. Anyways.
And what was up with that stupid elastic band gimmick thing that Indian dude that was with Brooks that ran all the way?
Yourself in the finger with a rubber band?
Yeah, but come on. Yeah, of course. That's why I laugh.
A giant rubber band that extends all the way up the ramp at Wrestle Kingdom and then get shot in the face with it. And you know that the spot is going to look so bad that even Japanese cameras cut away and don't actually show you the impact. They just show you El Phantasmo's reaction to it to make you think that it was really, really bad because the spot looks like shit.
You're so right. I actually did cut away. I thought it was a fuck up, but now that you said that, now that I think about it, it probably was because of that, because it really did. It looked ridiculous.
There's no way that spot's going to look good.
Oh, man.
There's no way.
Did you like that spot or what?
I don't know. I must have missed it.
Thank God you did.
What you guys are talking about, to be honest.
Well, at the end of the day, anyway, El Phantasmo does defeat Chris Brooks via the Thunder Kiss 86 and gets the 1-2-3 in 11 minutes and 48 seconds, and he's still the New Japan World Television Champion. I hate that belt for now.
Not for very long. Not for very long.
I'm surprised he's even wearing it. I mean, seriously, and he's on the pre-show.
We'll come back to El Phantasmo a little later in the show because I know who his next challenger is going to be after watching New Year's Dash this morning.
I'm glad because you guys need to take over with that. I've seen nothing about Dash except for what you guys have told me, so I'm actually looking forward to that. But anyway, the next match is officially now part of the main card. It is for the never open weight 6-man tag team championship Tornado Rambo match. It is TMDK. The Mighty Don't Kneel, winning actually via eliminating Bolton Oleg and Bishamon in 20 minutes and 43 seconds. I'm not going to go through this match because it was all over the place. But damn it, Bolton Oleg, I'm thinking he looks like he's from Kazakhstan. And guess what? He is. So I was right. I'm surprised. He looks like a bit of a big beast. But this match was just, I don't know, man. I couldn't get into it. One too many tag matches already. And I'll start with you, Jargo.
There was 28 dudes in this match.
28 dudes.
I mean, it was essentially a Royal Rumble. For anybody who doesn't know what a Rambo is, it's the New Japan version of a Royal Rumble. So if you had a 6-man tag Royal Rumble where if anybody submits, gets pinned, or thrown over the top rope, you and your entire team are eliminated. That's essentially what was going on here. And so 28 guys, the match goes 20 minutes. So you can imagine, like,
28 isn't divisible by 3. How did we get 28? Should be 27.
Well, okay. Oh, maybe
this is horrendous.
I don't know. I just counted quick, Vet.
Well, there could have been an extra guy. Nobody would have known, because the whole point of this thing is
nobody would have cared.
You can't follow it. This is the stupidest idea ever, but they only did it so that everybody could say they were on Tanahashi's retirement show. But it's still the stupidest idea ever. How can you have a Royal Rumble for trios? 3 people come in every entrance. That's ridiculous. And you have, so just, it was because you all can't be in the ring. So what you ended up having was guys laying outside the ring for inordinate amounts of time based on nothing. They hadn't had anything devastating done to them to lay out there for 20 minutes, but they had to while, so like people just kept coming down and guys are in the middle of the ring trying to do spots, and there'll be somebody else coming out with an entrance with music. So you don't know who not to care about. Should I not care about the people coming out that I've never seen in my life? Or should I not care about these guys trying to do forearms in the middle of the ring?
There's new guys, a new team is coming in every minute, but it takes 45 seconds to get from the top of the Wrestle Kingdom ramp to the ring. That ramp was huge. It was like the WrestleMania San Francisco ramp where Seth Rollins ran the entire thing for the cash in at Money in the Bank. Like, it's that kind of ramp.
And they weren't hurrying.
No,
they didn't jog down. They all did their full entrance.
Everybody, the whole show was like that, man. Like the whole show, and it was so annoying the crap out of me. Because if you cut all that time out, the show would have been even better, to be honest. But it is what it is. And this match was just, it was all over the place. I don't know what to say about it. I'm not into the. It's a weird.
There's one thing to say about it. TMDK is going to be one of the factions that gets a lot of influence and spotlight put on them through 2026.
Well,
that was established here.
Well, they were doing that even last year. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. So,
well, they're big on TMDK. TMDK is kind of like their new Bullet Club. It's kind of the new Gaijin faction. So, I mean, it's just
TMDK is a large reason why I was able to stay away for a year.
And you hate to break it to you boys. I'm sure you guys know this, but that's an Australian actual stable that started in Australia with Nichols and what was his partner's name again? They were in WWE as well. The
Haste.
Okay. That's the one.
Yeah.
Haste. Them two started it in the Australian indie scene. And another fun fact, Bronson Reed used to be actually part of the stable as well back in the day. And what's funny, it was meant to be just Australians only, but now it's become, I guess, international. Now, Americans are part of it. The English part of it.
I mean, this is what they do with Zack Sabre Jr. now.
Who's the leader? So has it become like, is there still any Australian connection to it these days?
Robbie Eagles, maybe?
Is he part of it?
Isn't Robbie Eagles part of TMDK?
I'm not sure now because, like I said, I haven't watched it in a long time. So, okay. He's a dickhead anyway in real life, just quietly. I just want to say, I said it. You know what I mean?
Wasn't Kyle Fletcher part of TMDK for a while?
I think he was, actually, as a matter of fact. You're right. Absolutely was. For a short while. Not for too long, but generally, and look at Vet shaking his head. But he was, But anyway, let's move on from that match, though, because next, we get... Actually, this match actually impressed me. I'm not going to lie. It is the IWGP Women's Championship and the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Women's Championship title versus title match in Sayuri, who's your IWGP Women's Champion, defeating Saya Kamitani, who's also the New Japan Strong Women's Champion, via the Sayu Sekai in 12 minutes and 9 seconds. But I'll say this, and Vet, I'll start with you. This was actually a fun match all the way through, I felt. I think these two women are good, but I think I'm going to say the right chick won the match, in my opinion, and I think she has the future. But the other one kind of reminded me of a goth sort of Julia, just her look, if you know what I mean.
Well, I have a couple things to say here. Number one, pretty sure that Shiori is just Kota Ibushi in a wig. I'm pretty sure that's real. And he was doing a great job selling later on in the night when he came down. Because he had this banger of a match here and probably re-broke his leg in it. Number two, Jargo, I turned my back on Saya Kamitani for 10 minutes and she becomes the biggest Japanese wrestler in the women's world, I guess. What happened? Catch me up.
I was really intrigued to see this match because I was in the same boat. I kept hearing everybody talk about Saya Kamitani, and what a great year Saya Kamitani has had in 2025. And I was like, oh, well, I can't wait to see her at Wrestle Kingdom. Maybe she's not the shits anymore. And then I watched this match and I was like, nope, same Saya Kamitani, same Shuri. I've always been very, very high on Shuri, but her offense just looks very believable to me. Like when I watch Shuri beat some woman up, I believe that Shuri is beating some woman up. There's nothing that Saya Kamitani does that makes me feel that way. Like she is all sizzle, no steak.
I agree.
But wow, what a sizzle. What a sizzle. Yeah, I mean, I just remember she always stood out to me before as that's the skinny girl with the tassels.
Uh-huh.
And she still is, but they're all black now. She's evil.
Yes. Right. Yes. So Saya Kamitani was in Queen's Quest, and she was the heir apparent to Momo Watanabe. And in case you haven't heard lately, fuck Momo. Momo sucks. So thank you, B. Priestley, for that quote. Fuck Momo. Momo sucks. That was great. I never saw it in Saya Kamitani. And it was very, very clear when I was doing Destino, the people that run Stardom were very, very high on Saya Kamitani. Never understood why. She's great to look at, but eventually that bell rings. Like she presents like a star now. Like I'll give her that. So she left Queen's Quest. She's got her own group now. It's called Hate. And they're the mean girls, right? So of course she dresses in all black, like fully gothed out. But
Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, right. The Phoenix Queen.
I'm going to do that now, fellas. You know that, right?
Yeah. I think the problem is you're only as good as your opponent, right? And so this was the match because I know how freaking good Shuri is. So I'm like, okay, show me something. Nope.
Yeah, I mean, how old is she, by the way? She looks young.
Saya Kamitani, I would guess probably mid-20s at this point.
Okay, that's about right. I was thinking maybe 22. She looks around there, but
I'm surprised Shuri hasn't left. I'm surprised Shuri hasn't either come stateside or went over to Marigold because she's really good. She's
great, man. She impressed the hell out of me, to be honest.
The problem is she just doesn't look like a star. Like her offense is incredible. Like, and that was always kind of the problem with the rest of Donna Del Mundo, Julia's old group, right? Like Julia was the face. She was the talker. She was, as the vet trademarked, look at her. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, just look at her. She was the star. And then she had a bunch of really good workers underneath of her. Shuri is a really good worker, but just the personality has never shown through for me.
Well, the reason her offense looks so believable is because she was a mixed martial artist.
You're muted.
Who's muted? No, he's unmuted.
Now you're back.
Oh,
I saw your lips moving, but I didn't hear you.
Oh, that's weird. I heard you, Vet. I don't know what happened there with you, Jargo.
Maybe you were muted, Jargo. Huh? Huh? But anyways, the reason it looks good is probably because it is. She's probably just beating you up. And you're absolutely right that she doesn't have star potential because she, just she's too much steak.
Yes.
You know, as far as that, because if you're that much steak, then you should be competitively fighting real women, and she was. So she's one of those people that made a transition to pro wrestling or whatever, but you know, she also kind of looks like Kota Ibushi in a wig. So maybe that has something to do with it. Whereas when you have Saya Kamitani that you could put on all the, you know, calendars and photo shoots and other things
the two of them, they'd be a great superstar.
Yeah, if only. But
God.
and you know what? It doesn't like the wrestling ability is one of the least important things as far as being a successful pro wrestler. And you know, Kamitani's good enough. I don't really have a problem with her. Yeah, shit doesn't look good. A lot of these girls shit doesn't look good. Right. That's beside the point. It's just so if you can, but that's the other thing too. Like when you get this mega push or whatever, you know, when it's a woman, you always have to wonder, why are you getting this mega push now and why not earlier, or why not, you know, it's usually involved with some other reasons perhaps that beyond your skill and your looks and, you know, whatever. So
I wonder.
Yeah. But hey, nice match.
Yeah,
she's better than Chris Brooks. I'll give her that. She's a hell of a lot better than Chris Brooks.
The problem I had with this match was it was 12 minutes and 9 seconds, and it should have been like 18 minutes. They should have done the same exact amount of stuff, but there should have been 6 minutes worth of selling in this match that just was not there. It was just move.
Suplex after suplex too.
Yeah, and the problem, the crowd could not invest in it because it was just move. That like it needed to breathe.
It felt rushed a little bit. I will say that. That's
and
true.
You're going to have a lot of people that are like, you imagine. Okay, so we didn't talk about this. The Tokyo Dome, more or less. I mean, they say sell out, but you know, I know they could fit a lot more people in there. But good enough and better than they've ever done. So they had almost 50,000. They had like 47,000 people there.
47. Shit.
Yeah. Okay. Really good. But
sold all the seats that were made available for sale.
Oh, shit.
Like, which by their definition is a sellout. They could have released another 20,000 seats.
Right. Exactly. Right. And they didn't even, you know, they didn't get, So but the point is more people than ever. And they're looking at this. And all these people, a lot of these people may be lapsed people that are like, well, I got to be there for Tanahashi's last match or whatever.
Sure,
and some of them have never seen a women's match on a New Japan card. And they're like, what are these women doing? You know, what's this chocolate doing in my peanut butter? Like that kind of a attitude. They're not going to get into it. Even if they had a perfect match, it wasn't going to help. Some of the people were just like, get this on with and get to the next thing. So you could estimate what the percentage of that audience would be that would be like that, but I guess it's hefty. And you know, so they already had that going against them anyways. So but you also just had to sit through you know, friggin' 9 tag team entrances and some bullshit match that, you know, we could have shaved some time out of that.
It was
maybe
bad,
if we want to give these girls a couple minutes, but it's fine. It worked out.
And dude, you know, you spin me out when you mentioned about Kota Ibushi looking like what's her name? Jesus Christ, I already forgot her name. Suri. Looking like her because D said the same thing. D goes to me, she looks like Kota Ibushi. I'm like, no, she doesn't. And then you said, I'm like, oh God. Maybe I'm wrong. You know what I mean?
Definitely looks very...
That's weird. That's weird that you both said it. But anyway, funny enough, that really popped me now that you said that. But anyway, let's move on to the next match. It is match number 5, and it's one of my favorites again. Not really. I'm just saying that. It is a 10-man tag team match, and it is the United Empire defeating Shingo Takagi, David Finlay, Gabe Kidd, Jilla Maloney, who I've never seen in my life, and Hiromu Takahashi, via face break shot in 13 minutes and 17 seconds. Jargo, who the hell is Jilla Maloney, dude?
He's moving up to heevyweight, I heard.
Yeah, look at him.
He looks all right. But
some of that weight is his glasses and his jacket.
Right?
I've never seen this guy in my life, man. What am I missing?
We're missing a lot. There's a lot of there's a lot of context here. So this team is kind of made up of former Bullet Club and former Los Ingobernables de Japón. That's another $50, Mr. Rhodes.
Still going. He still owes you.
So they've like kind of joined forces now, which seems very, very out of character of
Stupid.
Everybody involved.
I was tripping. What was going on here? Why is Bullet Club and Takahashi and Shingo together?
So we'll mix in just a little bit of New Year's Dash here as well.
Please.
So evidently Yota Tsuji is starting his own faction.
Okay.
He's got some ridiculous name for it. I don't remember what it was, but I'm guessing
Unbound.
Yes.
Is it really? Oh my God.
I believe so. So I think you're going to start seeing a lot more logic as to why these people are hanging out together, which will be nice. It's kind of like, this was the pre-com on the Wrestle Kingdom sex, right? So it didn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense why these guys were teaming together.
Not to me.
But now they're going to try to make it make sense. Okay.
Right.
Okay. The big thing here was United Empire, that they are going to be very heavily featured throughout 2026. That was made clear this morning, especially with Jake Lee is going to be
who's that dude? I mean, I know who that dude is.
Heavyweight Championship,
right?
It seems that they're setting that up. I love that Tsuji this morning was like, no, you can't challenge me for the championship. You can't just like disappear for like 18 months and then show up and demand a shot with me. Like, what makes you think you're on my level? Go win some matches first. Like, it was great. Like that's exactly what Yota Tsuji should be saying to Jake Lee. But
well, we buried the lead a little bit on Jake Lee because he was a mystery partner.
Yes,
and he was revealed
as well.
He was the 5th member of the United Empire team that was. They put the old X in there, like that's the partner, and then he's the last person to show up. But if you're not paying attention, you wouldn't have noticed. Like, you would have just thought he was the 5th guy because he just walked out. But
you could tell,
especially with the Japanese commentary, because you're probably not understanding what they're saying. But the English guys were probably saying, "And here comes the mystery. Who's it gonna, like whatever." But
I didn't see that as a mystery guy. That's true.
Yeah, Jake Lee's been back and forth from New Japan, Noah, he's
like a Triple Crown champion in Noah and All Japan Pro Wrestling as well. I was actually surprised to see him. I knew he was a Bullet Club member too for a while, and didn't they call him the Smooth Bastard or some shit like that? That was his nickname.
The something bastard. Yeah,
it was something bastard. That's how I remember it. And then when I realized that it was him, I'm like, fuck, he's changed a little bit. He doesn't look as. I know they're putting him to be like the guy clearly after the way they booked him. But he had a better look previously to me, in my opinion, than what he does now. But that's just me. Maybe I'm just tripping.
It seems like he and Orange Cassidy were hanging out because it seems like his new personality is kind of that
like nonchalant,
right, which is very different than the Jake Lee that I remember from Bullet Club. So I'm interested to see where it goes. But evidently, Colum Newman is actually the leader of the United Empire, which I did not get at all.
The dude with the sword?
No,
this guy's a fat guy.
He's a fat.
He really took putting weight on to go to heavyweight to heart because he's floppy fat now.
Funny.
So this morning we did get more development with Jake Lee and Yota Tsuji. We also got the return of Will Ospreay to New Japan Pro Wrestling, and evidently he is agreeing to be a subservient to Colum Newman upon his return to New Japan and just a backup member of the United Empire. No power struggle here, although he only shook hands with guys that were formerly in the United Empire while he was there, like, the Great Okan. Like, he was happy to see Great Okan. Didn't even really speak to Jake Lee. Wouldn't the guy that's challenging for the championship be kind of the de facto leader of the faction, you would think? Weird times.
So he brings himself in as the leader from the inside out?
Well, I mean, when I look at that group, it sure looks like it should be Jake Lee's group, not Colum Newman's. I mean, I if anything, I thought Great O'Khan was kind of the de facto member that was going to be unseated, but no, evidently it's Colin Newman.
No, this is the problem right here. Well, first of all, United Empire has always sucked. Let's get that. Let's not, for anybody that's joining us that doesn't know these people we're talking about and just wants to hang out, just don't get in the impression that by what Jargo is saying that United Empire was ever cool or good. Is corny as fuck from the start. None of these people make sense. They don't go together. And adding guys like fucking Callum Newman is exactly why I don't watch New Japan anymore. I don't care to see a bunch of flavorless, flabby, pale white guys in a company called New Japan Pro Wrestling. I see enough of that trash, indie trash here in the States. I don't need it in New Japan. And the idea that he's the leader of, which I didn't even understand because I wasn't paying attention to anything anybody was saying. So if they said that, I didn't hear it. But if he's the leader of United Empire at this point, when he was just some guy they brought in so that they could pad out some junior heavyweight, ranks back when he originally came in, if he's the leader, that's emblematic of the reasons why people are struggling to stay invested in this company, because of all the guys you would choose, like Jargo said, that makes the least amount of sense. This guy has no personality. He has no look. He has no nothing. The biggest thing that anybody could say about him that they're trying hard to really get over, as if anyone cares, that he runs really fast. Like, look how fast he runs. Look how hard he hits the ropes. Well, I don't care.
I feel like United Empire, number one, Big Ray likes tossed salad is what he was saying there. Number two, I feel like United Empire is a bit of a cautionary tale for whatever Tsuji is about to do. United Empire was put together just so Ospreay could have his own group and prove that he could be the leader of a faction. And now they're going to do that to Tsuji. So hopefully this new group makes more sense than what the United Empire ever did, because I'm with you. It never made any logical sense to me.
This is all horrible.
The entire grouping.
Everything about this is horrible. Let's talk about the match for a sec. Oh, well, not the match so much. We're still not on the match. How funny was it? Look, I hate David Finlay, right? Like, not as a person, just
that fucking gun, by the way.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to talk about. So, if you need to see David Finlay in a nutshell, right? He comes out with this toy Gatling gun thing. He's carrying this fucking thing. I don't even know what it is at first. Okay. It's the dorkiest looking plastic ass toy that you've ever seen of this like some kind of a weird Gatling gun thing, right? That the Terminator would carry or something in the future, right?
Horrendous.
And he gets in the ring, during the end, the introductions and stuff, and he gets up on the thing and he like points it at like sort of at the crowd and does like a machine gun thing, and the barrel is like spinning, but it's spinning so slowly, like you'd be getting like 2 bullets per minute the way this thing is spinning, and they're playing gun sound effects while he's doing this, and then he just puts it down and it's never to be seen again. Like this thing that he made that, like, he or somebody did this for him, commissioned this thing specifically for this Wrestle Kingdom entrance. It will never be used again. No one will ever want it. If it was memorabilia, fans would be paying people not to have it. and that's David Finlay in a nutshell. Like, nothing this guy does is cool. Like, nothing about him is cool. Everything about him sucks. He's a complete disappointment to his family. The only thing that sucks worse than him is his brother's physique. That's it.
I kept hearing like David Finlay may be interested in going stateside. I'm just like,
that's what I heard. That's what I heard too. I was reading that.
I don't get it.
So I was surprised to see him because I was just reading, I think yesterday.
Nepotiz is the only reason anybody would ever.
I will say
David Finlay's one of the reasons I stopped watching New Japan.
He sucks. Right?
Like, it's one thing when you're in a shitty tag team with Juice Robinson and you're a joke and nobody really takes you seriously and it's whatever, and I can just accept you and tolerate you as part of the show. But when you start trying to elevate somebody up to like main event status that has no business even being on the card with some of these guys, then I'm sorry, I got to step away for a while until you get your shit together.
David Finlay is essentially just the New Japan version of Jinder Mahal.
I wish he was Jinder Mahal. At least Jinder Mahal was tall.
Yeah, but I mean,
and ethnic.
And
you can't completely reframe a character like that and now just expect me to take him seriously. You went from 3-man band, and I will always view you as a member of the 3-man band, and that's why I can't take you seriously as WWE champion, right? And David Finlay, the same thing. Like, you were in a tag team called Fin Juice, bro.
Stupid,
Fin
man.
Juice.
Well, and he can't cut a promo without his voice cracking like the squeaky voice team from The Simpsons.
Yeah, and when they tried to make him the de facto leader of Bullet Club, that was a big checkout point for me. It absolutely was, where it was just like, no.
I stopped watching at that point too. So put it that way.
You can't reframe somebody like that and just expect the fans to accept it. Austin Theory, you're going to see it with Austin Theory.
Speaking of theories, do you think that this was this some kind of a way to try, or like, are they trying to torpedo the Bullet Club so that they can just put it away once and for all and make sure that there's no remnants of it left anymore? I wouldn't have thought so, because it seemed like it could have been valuable to them in monetarily in some way, but
they screwed it up now. You must kill it.
I think the only member of Bullet Club that's left is Taiji Ishimori. He's in the clubhouse all by himself.
Pretty much.
Everybody else is a member of the War Dogs. They're not actually in Bullet Club. They're members of the War Dogs.
But are they still? See, to me, I still look
like,
at them as an
offshoot,
offshoot,
though. Taiji Ishimori, and that's it.
Right? Yeah, you're right. Absolutely, for sure. But David Finlay, but you know what else was good about the gun? Actually, Vet, and I'm sure you noticed this, but you know when he first tried shooting, right? Nothing was coming out. There was no smoke, no nothing. But the second time he did it, suddenly little puffs of smoke started coming out of it. And then he looks at it, he just drops it on the floor. And like you said, we never saw it again after that.
Fresh.
So that was pretty bad. But I will say one thing about David Finlay, at least he looks better. His look is much better than what it used to be, especially part of Fin Juice. But he's done. I can't stand him, never have. He's not his dad. Not that his dad was that talented, but geez, at least he was believable. You know what I mean? But anyway, in saying that, let's move on from that match because, again, one too many tag team matches for my liking. But we do have a 4-way match next. It is for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship #1 contenders match. And it is El Desperado. We also got Sho, and we got Fujita, like you said before, Taiji Ishimori, and Pinche Loco in a match, and Desperado does defeat all of them in only 7 minutes and 35 seconds, surprisingly. Despy, man, he's looking sort of different these days, Jargo. I like him, though. He's got longer hair. He's still Despy. I mean, he's a stud under that mask.
Why is he fat, Jargo?
You think he's fat?
Why is he fat?
Despy's always been fat.
Not like this.
He's fatter now. Definitely fatter. Yeah.
He's definitely heavier now than he used to be, but that I feel like it's kind of Despy's frame too. Like I think Despy could do all the crunches in the world and he would never have a 6-pack.
Well,
Despy as a baby face is weird. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I think the fans kind of like it. I mean, they seem to pop for it.
Ishimori, Fujita, and Sho.
Yeah,
I mean, that's one of my problems with this show is that we have an IWGP Junior Heavyweight 4-way for the #1 contendership to Doki, rather than having a Doki title defense on Wrestle Kingdom. I mean, how many guys can we get on the card? That's really what they were going for here, and the only one that you could possibly put over is Desperado. Desperado and Doki are feuding. They've been feuding for the better part of like 18 months. The feud continues. You know, it speaks volumes that it only went like 7 minutes and 35 seconds.
It's true, man. I almost feel, I know it's weird. It's crazy. I almost feel bad for you though, Jargo. You're a Despy guy, man. And you just seem
I love Despy. I
love disappointed. Right, exactly.
The junior division, as guys have left and guys have quote unquote went to heavyweight and guys have become unaffiliated, and I mean the junior heavyweight division is just absolutely decimated right now, and we're not getting a fresh batch of junior heavyweights coming through. I mean, Best of Super Juniors was, to me, more fun there for a while than the G1 Climax was. Best of Super Juniors there for a while was just absolute fire watching those guys go out there. But, you know, at that time, you also had Hiromu Takahashi, and you also had Will Ospreay, and you had Shingo Takagi in the junior division inexplicably, along with Despy. And I mean, you could go 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 guys deep for a Best of Super Juniors, and the tournament was absolutely fantastic. And now it's just the same guys, but older. And it's like as they've tried to elevate the lower end of the card to the top of the card inside of the junior division, you're just left with a bunch of undercard talent at the top of the division. There's nothing real exciting going on there.
And Despy's fat.
And Despy's fat.
That's the worst part of all. He's trying to make a move to heavyweight. He's legitimately moving to heavyweight.
Absolutely. That's what it seems like is going on. Even Despy's like, I've got to get the hell out of here. So
Brian Dunlop saying, what if AEW and New Japan made a Forbidden Door video game together? It almost sounds dirty.
Well, the development time would still be shorter than that Rumbo or that 6-man Rumble thing that they had earlier.
Yeah, the Rumbo, the Rumbo match, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's facts. I don't know if they ever will, just to answer your question, by the way, but I doubt it. Anyway, so next match, it is your never open weight championship match between Aaron Wolf, who makes his debut, defeating Evil via triangle choke. Now, this annoyed the heck out of me. I actually enjoyed the match. I know we're talking about it off the air kind of thing, because I felt like this was it's weird seeing Evil take charge. Like to me, he showed how good he truly is, because I never seen him do that good and be that sort of general in the ring. I didn't realize he even had it in him, to be honest. And I actually felt like they actually, you know, it's pretty rare. A lot of people say that Japanese wrestling says, you know, tells no real story in the ring. I guess they don't understand it, but a lot of people complain that they don't understand psychology. It's all just chops and forearms and blah, 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 right? But this match told the story in the ring, in my opinion, and it did have psychology in it. The only thing that disappointed me was that Evil was just, it was one way. It was all Evil. And I hate these type of matches. And then Aaron Wolf ends up getting the win. And he copped an absolute belting in this match, in my opinion. It was almost like welcome to the big time, kid, type of welcome for him. But yeah, it disappointed me a little bit. But Vet, what do you think of Brian Wolf? I mean, he's a gold medalist.
Wolf. Who's that?
I mean, Brian Wolf. What was his first weekend? That's it. That's the one. I got confused there. But anyway,
Wolf.
Aaron Phillip Wolf is his full name, by the way. And he's half American, half Japanese, by the way. American father, Japanese mother, but does represent Japan.
Yeah.
He looks so out of shape, though, dude.
Well, yeah. It's important to be. Look, I can't call the guy fat because I've been calling everybody else fat. This guy's too obviously like this is all he's ever been. So I can't say. The other guys I was talking about are people that have, you know, gotten out of shape in my view. But, you know, so this guy was, what is he, a judo gold medalist or something? Yeah. So he's right? Like that's the thing. He's over. It doesn't matter what he does. He came out and he was over. He was like one of the most over people of the night.
Probably the most
next to Tanahashi.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Because they take, you know, Japan takes real pride in their athletes and stuff, especially that can do things on a world stage, you know, because there aren't that many of them that do. So whenever they got somebody, they get behind them. And so this guy was always going to be over no matter what happened. As far as everything you said about Evil, you're right. Evil's always been great. It's only just, you know, where they slot him and what they have him doing. He's, you know, I use this analogy on the Wreckage, but like I use it about Don Callis, but I'm like, you know, Gato keeps driving this dump truck full of lemons and backing it up and pouring it on Evil, and he's like trying to make his way out of it and make one glass of drinkable lemonade for everybody, but they just keep pouring lemons before he can finish it. So it's just, you know, it's a shame, but for this he was the right guy to do it. And as far as Aaron Wolf goes, like, yeah, he's obviously not brand new to this whole deal. Had some training. I've seen worse debut matches. I've seen worse debut matches from people that train more. I've seen worse matches from people that claim that they've been wrestling for 20 years.
Wow.
I saw a worse match earlier in this show with Chris Brook. I just like, so give me this guy, because what I saw in him was that he wasn't crisp at everything he was doing, but he seemed to have more of a fundamental understanding of pro wrestling than a lot of other celebrities or other people that dabble, that come in, you know, for these one shots, or former mixed martial artists or whatever. Like, he got what pro wrestling was supposed to be. He just hadn't had enough time to be doing it.
Right.
So, but yeah, I think he's got as bright of a future as he wants. He should probably be a little less tubby, but that's just for his own health, not necessarily. Right. I don't really care. He's probably wrestling the gi, so it wouldn't matter, you know. But here he was in the I guess what they said was that he agreed to, you know, a contrition of shaving his head and putting on the black trunks and boots if he lost to Evil. So, you know, that was what Evil said. Like, if you lose to me, you got to do this. So he took Evil's thunder away by doing it first. Like, I will do this. I will humble myself before anything. So now there's no, you know, now what are you going to do kind of thing.
Got a big reaction.
Yeah. So I appreciate that. It was good. That's a good little bit of storytelling outside the ring. So, you know, it's a gimmick match, and in my opinion, it worked. But even if it didn't work, it was always going to work. Cause again, like I said, the kid is over. So
yeah, no, it worked. 100% it worked. And I think he gave a great impression, you know, a first impression to the fan base, especially. I just hate seeing one-sided matches, go the other way like that. But that's only a little pet peeve of mine. It's no big deal, because I did enjoy the match overall. And Jargo, how do you feel about this match? Did it live up to the expectation, or do you feel it was a little bit off?
Well, I mean, it depends on what the expectation was, right?
There's a lot of hype.
I feel like Aaron Wolf was in a lose-lose situation. Like, no matter what he did.
Interesting.
And this kid has a ton of pressure on him.
He does. And absolutely does. And
the company is very, very high on him. The company is going to give him a very big push coming in. He's way more over than his ability level is at. So he's a bit lose-lose situation.
It feels like a Rocky Maivia debut, if you know what I mean, almost, to an extent, if you get my drift.
Kind of. I'm struggling to think of what I would think would be a good comparison.
Well, that's the first thing that just came to my mind for some reason.
It's a little Kurt Angle-ish.
And that, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Where when Angle first came in, and, you know, Olympic gold medalist, and then they bring him in and everybody hates him. But that was because they had spent so much time developing that character.
Right. Absolutely.
They haven't even done that with Aaron Wolf.
He's been fast-tracked 100%.
He's so green. And you could see the weight of the moment when he was standing on the ramp, and he's just like, deep breaths.
Yeah, you could see. Dude, he was gassed by the end of the match, too. He's not in ring shape yet.
Yeah. No. And the other problem is he very well may be in shape, but he's in shape for judo. He's trained his body for judo versus a cosmetic business like professional 100%. Wrestling is.
You don't really run in judo, you know what I mean? You're pretty much just standing there for the most part.
So we'll see how he progresses, but I don't know if he's going to have enough time to progress. You know,
we'll see.
Cable Stevenson.
That's a great example.
Cable Stevenson, you know,
that was tragic though. That was really bad. You know what I mean?
They rushed him too fast, and he wasn't ready for the moment when they put him in that situation. And that's my worry with Aaron Wolf. We'll see how things progress, and if he progresses quickly.
The difference with Stevenson is he ducked the moment.
Yeah, he
for a
kind of
long
did.
time.
That's true.
So he didn't really want it.
He was a pussy. He pussied out, man. Really, he was probably too scared.
His brother was the one that wanted to be a wrestler, and
he lasted longer too.
Yeah, and maybe that whole thing was just to help get his brother a job, but it didn't work.
It sure.
I mean, not forever. Yeah, no. I don't know that this necessarily has a direct comparison. You just have to give him the benefit of the doubt and see how things shake out. But he's definitely going to be better and more entertaining to watch than, say, Bullet Club War Dogs.
I hate that. This is such a corny name.
And I know it's been said, but Evil was really good in this match.
He was absolutely really great in this match. Like I said,
I think I'd kind of forgotten how good Evil can be because of all the House of Torture bullshit.
Right.
But man, he was good in this match. Like he carried that kid to a Wrestle Kingdom worthy match. Yep. Absolutely. And sometimes I forget just how good, like Evil and Sonata, especially when they were in a tag team together, how good both of those guys can be.
Loved them as a tag team.
Yep.
Absolutely, 100%. And speaking of, actually, I want to just, I know we're talking about it kind of off the air. I know you and I were, Jargo, but I'll ask you first, Vet. Does Bad Luck Fale need to freaking retire, bro? Seriously, he looks so like shit.
I mean, he kind of is retired at this point, isn't he?
Oh, well, yeah, I guess. Pretty much semi-retired and does the dojo thing. But
him just being there looking like an ominous presence, whether he is or not, is irrelevant. But that's kind of the role that Fale's in. Let him get his payday,
through the table. Did you just notice the table, by the way?
Fale has earned every payday that he gets for just standing there doing nothing.
Plus, he's done a lot for the company, too. He's recruited a lot of talent. People don't know that, but he really has.
I mean that sincerely. Fale deserves every payday he gets for standing there doing nothing.
Yeah, I agree with you. Did you guys notice the table when it smashed, by the way?
What?
Did it look like freaking cardboard for a second?
Oh, their tables always look like that.
I never noticed that until now, but I was like, yeah, that looks a bit suspicious compared to the normal tables. But anyway, I just found that a little interesting. And also, you said it off the air, Jargo. Vet, did we see Seth Rollins in this match by any chance?
Did we see who?
Seth Rollins.
Seth Franklin Rollins?
Yeah, do you get
I did not realize that in Japanese, you say Seth Rollins, Sanada.
Yeah.
That's how you say Seth Rollins in Japanese.
I see. Yeah.
I mean, yellow boots, see-through. Yeah, what is up with that guy? I was asking you that, Jargo, off the air.
That's a great question. What is up with Sonata? Because this morning at New Year's Dash, Sonata shows up with his guitar and his little LED board, and it says, "Goodbye, New Japan. See you next time."
What the fuck?
Not see you next fucking time?
Well,
no.
Yeah, I left.
Who knows?
Oh, wait, this is the HMG. I don't have to censor myself. But yeah, see you next fucking time. But goodbye, New Japan. Sonata's leaving? Are we just replacing Seth Rollins in WWE with Japanese Seth Rollins? Like, where the hell did Sonata even go? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry
to quote Billy Ray Valentine, the great Sonata. Yeah, how'd that age, Billy Ray Valentine? The great Sonata. Look at this fucking guy.
He looked like when he came out, he looked like fucking Dynamo from The Running Man.
He looked like fucking Seth Rollins.
No. That wasn't him with the light up suit thing.
No, that was the first time. That's why I'm talking about. No, I'm talking
about the first time when it was in the. When it wasn't he was in the Rumble thing, right?
Right. And what's weird, what is he called now? Something Snake? Like Shifty Snake?
I don't know. Look,
Snake.
Look, I'll just say this about Sonata, and then I guess we can move on.
Right.
Sonata's a bum. He's always been a bum, but the thing is, a bum used to be his gimmick. When he was in LIJ, and he was like lazy. And he was like the third guy on the totem pole, if that, that fit him. And ever since they tried to ever make him anything, he got exposed.
Badly.
That match he had with Kota Ibushi was one of the worst matches ever that took place in New Japan. It was much worse than Aaron Wolf's match. And because he can't,
wasn't as bad as Chris Brooks.
That's true. Come on. Come on,
it was a worse match. He's not worse than Chris Brooks. But El Phantasmo carried Chris Brooks to a better match overall, I think, is what we're trying to say. But yeah, Sonata's just a bum. There's just really nothing you could do with him.
But he's another one of those guys that it's like, is there even a market for Sonata at this point?
Probably not.
Maybe.
Well, yeah, because he's got a name, but that's it. Like, so, some other, maybe, I'm sure All Japan would love to have him.
Noah's too good right now for him, even, I think.
But
definitely All Japan, 100%, if anywhere. And that's a big step down.
Shout out Billy Ray Valentine. Great Sonata.
Shout outs to BRB.
Yeah, they thought at one point they thought they could turn him into like a classic babyface like Inoki or Fujinami or whatever. They just gave him the little trunks and the serious, everything, and just it just was never. He's not that guy.
He's got no personality at all and never has, man. To be honest, he just never has.
That was also his gimmick.
Right.
We didn't realize that was a shoot.
Yeah, we thought it was a gimmick. All right.
That's called, but it's weird, man. Anywho, we're off to our, I guess, should have been main event in some ways, but it's not.
No, come on.
The title, man. I know. Okay, Tanahashi should be the main event, but still, it's weird. It's weird, though, seeing the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship title versus title match. And by the way, that is also the IWGP Global Championship. It is Konosuke Takeshita against Yota Tsuji. And this match went for a good 30 minutes pretty much. And look, I'll say this. It started off kind of slow, but it did pick up towards the end. And it got pretty decent, in my opinion. I wouldn't say it was in the top 2 matches of the night. Definitely in the top 4, though. But nevertheless, to my surprise in some ways, but really maybe I shouldn't, Yota gets the win and becomes double champion. And I guess you got something to say about this, Jargo, because there's more to it, obviously. But are you happy that Yota became the champ?
I'm happy that they finally put the title on Tsuji. Because I feel like it should have happened probably like 6 months ago or so. Tsuji, I've always been very, very high on Tsuji. I think Tsuji has a great look. He has great size. Like, he looks like a professional wrestler. He looks like the guy to carry New Japan forward. My problem with Tsuji is he is a 4-star specialist, and he hasn't gotten any better than like he was 2.5 years ago. Like what we used to view as, wow, this guy's got a ton of potential to be a main eventer. Now he's a main eventer, and he's still the same Tsuji that he was then. So
a little more colorful.
I'm not seeing any progression with Tsuji. So I mean, if you like Tsuji, you're happy. If you're not a Tsuji guy, sorry about your luck, I guess. But no, I like going with Tsuji. I like trying to give him a run on top and see if they can turn him into one of the new kind of cornerstones of the company. We'll see if it works. There's a lot going on outside of this championship as well. So number one, I thought they did this because Takeshita was leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling. We found out this morning that is not the case. Konosuke Takeshita has re-signed with New Japan Pro Wrestling for all of 2026. I think I would rather have Takeshita on top. Maybe that's just me. I think Takeshita is really, really good. I don't know. What do you think, Vet? Who would you rather have on top right now if you were running the promotion? Would you rather have Tsuji or would you rather have Takeshita?
Talking about New Japan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tsuji,
just
because he's a gimmick, like somewhat. Yeah. I really have I have nothing but just like a baseline level of respect or interest for Konosuke Takeshita. I just don't find him. Yeah, I don't find him. He's a cheese sandwich, in my opinion. anybody with, I don't find that he does anything that anybody else can't do. So I don't, other than be tall. That's it. So
that's kind of my on Takeshita too. Like, there's nothing about, like, he does everything very, very well to me, but there's nothing that he does that somebody else doesn't already do. Like there's nothing innovative about him. There's nothing like super special about him. He just does everything really, really well.
Now, a fun fact: what kind of cheese?
Swiss. There's
you know what kind? Kraft singles.
Yeah, the Kraft singles.
We established what kind of a cheese sandwich what we're talking about every time I accuse somebody of being a cheese sandwich. We established that yesterday because no one ever asked before. But great. Fun fact. You know what suji means in Japanese?
Suji?
No
idea.
Sheep.
Ah, man.
And, you know, I get that because Suji looks like he's kind of cute and cuddly. You know, he seems marketable. He's got that smile. He's got that crazy smile, right? So you could definitely see putting that on little plush toys and, you know, all kinds of, you know, merchandise and stuff like that. So I just look at Suji as like a guy that's good enough to get anything done pretty much that you need. And I guess that's why I'd go with him. And of the guys that he came in with the class of the, you know, young lions that came back, you know, we're looking at, Yuya Uemura, just god awful. You look at
breaks my heart. I love me some Uemura.
Yeah, I mean he was good as a young lion because
right as a young lion.
But he topped out right there. Like yes, a lifelong young lion. That was your fate.
Well, and it's really, what gimmick do you get stuck with when you get back, and how do they present you straight out the gate? And they crippled Uemura before he even re-debuted.
But he never had it though, because when I watched his whole excursion because he went to TNA, and he that's what he was doing. That's all he could do. All he could do is be a young lion. He doesn't know anything else. He has no spice. He's the cheesiest cheese sandwich. White bread, Kraft single, one slice.
Joe Hendry did make him look kind of good actually in TNA.
He tried. Joe Hendry tried, and my God, he tried. And that's when you expose Joe Hendry that he can't do everything, you know? I mean, so it's like, it's just, so him, and then, you know, Shota Umino, my God.
Boy, bro, what's happened?
Now, you want to talk about crippled. But again,
those two guys, Shooter and Uemura, this morning came out to challenge for the tag team championships after the match, and got booed out of the building, to the point that Taichi and Ishii had to come out and challenge for the championships. I don't think that was planned. I think it just went so poorly with Shooter and Uemura that backstage Gedo was like, you two get out there, save this segment. This is how we're going off the air. We can't go off the air like this. This is terrible.
But who, you know, so I don't see, we can never know the answers to these questions. We can ask them, but we can never know the answers. And the questions are things like, how much does Gedo really do? And how much is Gedo forced to do? You know, how much is this, you know, from his bosses or people that say, you know, like the quote unquote, the Jim Herds of New Japan Pro Wrestling, right? Like, you know, it would be a good idea. You know, if you it would be a good idea if you combine Nakamura and Tanahashi. That would be good. Let's do that. No, let's not. But then again, what do you do? I don't know the answer, but they're not the right guys. And, you know, you could just say that they never had it. You wouldn't have mattered what gimmick you slapped them with. That you couldn't have, you know, covered it up for long. So of those guys, Suji's like, he's the least of the evils,
right? Yeah,
you know, but which is still not like, he's not your ideal, what you want, where it's like a home run. Like, yes, 100% this guy, we got to put all our eggs in this basket. It's just like, well, this is what we got, so let's do it.
It's shocking. Like, because it seemed like the company thought Suji was going to be number 3 of those 3. Like, Shooter was supposed to be the new Tanahashi.
The new Tanahashi,
was going to be the next Okada. And Suji, they even stuck him with Naito just so they didn't have to deal with him. Like, you go over there. You know, these are our little pet projects.
And that was probably the best thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely it was. It was the best thing for Tsuji. It was absolutely the best thing for Tsuji. And now they've given him the greatest gimmick of all. Because we are finally done with the New Japan Pro Wrestling Divas Championship. We're throwing it in the trash. The belts have been separated. And so now we have the IWGP Heavyweight Championship back. The version 4 is back.
Yep.
The big gold New Japan belt, the one that Okada carried around all the time, that belt is back. And there was a lot of talk this morning about the Intercontinental Championship. So I wonder if they are going to get rid of the Global Championship and bring back the Intercontinental Championship, in which case Tetsuya Naito must come back and destroy it. It must be destroyed.
That was the best.
All.
Just the way he used to throw it around like a piece of shit.
Oh, it was great. It was great when he would like ram it into the goalpost just to break it up. The other thing coming out of this match was, okay, so if Takeshita does stay around, what's next for Takeshita? We got that answered this morning as well. He's going after the New Japan TV Championship in El Phantasmo.
Wow.
Yeah. That's why I say El Phantasmo's not going to have that belt for very long. Because clearly they're just going to, like, here's your consolation prize for losing the Divas Championship. We're going to give you the TV Championship.
Wow.
Yeah.
Vic wants to smile right now.
Takeshita versus Elp. That's going to happen. Takeshita versus Elp.
Man, Phantasmo better put some of that muscle back on.
Yeah.
It's a little bit skinny there at this point.
So Yota Tsuji gets to separate the championships and start a new faction. So it seems like they're really going to try with this kid, and we'll see how it goes.
They've got no other choice, really, to be fair to them. So they have to try something and see if it works. But Vet, what's your thoughts before we move on to the main event?
Well, the guys had a good match. I'm not going to say they didn't. There was little things here and there I could nitpick, but it's not, it's inconsequential to what we're discussing. We're discussing the broader repercussions of all this. They don't need more belts. They don't need separated belts. They don't need to switch out types of belts. What they need to do is get rid of a bunch of it, because you clearly show that you don't have the talent to get over your company. And the reason that you keep making belts is because that's your way of giving people charisma or a reason to exist that don't deserve it. If you can't get over without it, the belt won't do it for you. And certainly creating a belt out of nowhere, like the global heavyweight champion, what in the fuck ever was that? Like, what are you talking about? The globe is the earth, and the earth is the world, and the world heavyweight championship already exists. So what are we doing?
You know what another word for global is? Intercontinental.
That's right. Really? And that's why that needs to stay away. They've already got rid of the United States, right? So that's gone.
Is that gone?
We need to get rid of everything. Okay. The television championship was something you could, the whole idea of that was that, like, anywhere that belt was defended, you could watch it for free, right? Whether it was Twitter or whatever, like, everybody was able to see that TV title get defended. So I like that gimmick, but you got to do it. You got to actually do it. You got to actually treat it like what you're doing. And with the internet the way it is now, there's no reason that you can't do that. There's no reason that you can't have your, you have a card, one of your little house shows out in the fucking rice paddy boondocks out there where there's, like, some high school gym where you got to wrestle in. And one of those, make sure you have a nice TV title defense so that you could put that on social media and get people interested. That's the whole idea. You got to put it on the guy. And I could see why Takeshita could be that guy, the way they're looking at it. He could be that guy to attract people, like, okay, this is what New Japan's about. He's representing them. Okay, I'll check it out. Maybe there's more guys like him. That's the whole idea of doing something like that. The fact is they're just not doing that. So do your own idea that you came up with correctly, and then maybe that will fix some problems. But for the rest of the titles, they all need to go. Pretty much. You just got to, I wouldn't even have a secondary belt at this point. That TV title would kind of be that, I would think. We don't need no never open weight anythings. We don't need any of that stuff. So, We don't even really need tag teams because, let's face it, Japan does not care about tag team wrestling. It's always an afterthought, and those are always the hot potato belts. One of the things about the never open weight 6-man titles that I did like, as I thought, like, well, if we have to have these, here's the way I feel about it. For those shows like I'm talking about, like they don't really have traditional TV. They've got, like, you know, if you get New Japan World, you basically get to see all the house shows filmed. So for those cards are top to bottom, all like tag matches and stuff, you know, so you get everybody on the card and everybody gets to see their favorite wrestler and everybody's happy. So, except Jimmy. So then the main event of those shows can always be a 6-man title defense, because it's going to be some multi-man match anyway, but at least that would give like the attraction to the house show. So maybe some house show business would go up a little bit if you thought there's a potential title change. And if you change the title enough times, people will be conditioned that they got to go see that title change if they want. So that's a way you could use a 6-man title, but that could be even more prestigious than the tag team titles, because I don't really think they care, and there's no tag teams. So anyways, that's the belt situation in New Japan. That's more what I get out of this. I was just hoping that whatever happened, they were going to get rid of that global title, and I hope they do, but we'll see.
We'll see. And now we're finally onto the main event. It is an end of an era, pretty much, for New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I'm talking about Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Kazuchika Okada in his retirement match. And I guess, you know, if you're retiring, you do business on the way out. And Okada did get the win in 33 minutes and 3 seconds. I mean, this match was good pretty much from the start to the end. I will say, every time I just see, you know, you could tell Okada had to slow down a lot for Tanahashi. Even when they're running the ropes, he was trotting. Do you know what I mean? Almost tippy-toeing against the ropes, you know what I mean? And that's always tough to see, man. And I've seen that firsthand with him. And I'm glad he's retiring in many ways. He's done everything he could have ever done for this company. He single-handedly saved this company back in 2000, pretty much, in between that 2000 to 2005 sort of period, from pretty much nearly going bust. That was their lowest point. We think now he's bad. Back then was really way worse. And he single-handedly did take him out of those trenches. And here we are, man. And Jargo, I'll start with you. I'm going to miss him, man. I'm not going to lie.
Well, I have a feeling that you won't miss him too much, because it's Tanahashi and he's a camera whore and an egomaniac, and he's still the president of New Japan Pro Wrestling, right. So he will be around, and he can't avoid being on camera. So I think you'll just see a lot of suited Tanahashi. You know, I think that's what the way that it's going to work out. It is interesting, the parallels between Tanahashi and John Cena.
I was waiting for that.
Their retirements happening so closely together, and seeing the way that the two companies handled the two sets of retirements. Like, this is the retirement that John Cena really wishes that he had, is kind of how it felt to me. I thought the match was fantastic. I thought the story that they were telling was absolutely fantastic. It was nice to see a real Okada match.
Right.
Because we don't get that very often in AEW.
I'm sorry, Jargo. I want to jump in right on that, because I don't need to say it during my thing, and I will forget it if I don't say it. But you know, that what we were talking about at the top about New Japan and the way they show you, you know, a lot of what Okada's perceived failings are in AEW is their amateurish presentation.
Yep, absolutely.
Because in many ways, he's just the same guy. And if you've seen him live, you know, it's the same guy. He does the same things. But how they shoot it makes it feel like a world of difference. This felt like 100%. The most important thing in the world.
Right.
But he could have this exact match in AEW, and they're going to shoot it, and it's going to be like, you're lazy, you know? So I just wanted to say that.
I feel like the other thing is, when we see Okada matches here in the States, they're typically like that 15 to 16 minute range. Whereas here you get almost a half hour. And the thing that makes an Okada match so great to me is the pacing. He knows when to let things breathe, when to just lay out and let the crowd do what it is the crowd needs to do. And everything he does in AEW is so rushed and then also interrupted by commercial breaks, which breaks that immersion. And the pacing is what makes an Okada match an Okada match. And when he all of a sudden fires up and hits 5-6 moves in a row, and then he lays out for 30 seconds, makes a hell of a difference versus, you know, you come back from break after 3 minutes of not being in the match and he hits like 6 moves and then he lays out for 30 seconds and it looks like he's just lazy because all he did was hit 6 moves. You know,
he's hurt and he's old and he's fucking tired and he works with fucking children.
Yeah. Right. It was really nice to see a real Okada match, and Tanahashi is a master too. You know, like those two guys, they've always been magic together. They've always had great chemistry. I love the Shibata PK. I love the shout out to Nakamura and the Bumaye. You know, he even almost did the pose in the corner. He tried, but you know, Tanahashi only bends like that far versus Nakamura's like, you know, that far. But there was a lot of great storytelling here. And I wonder how much casual fans got of it, because there were so many callbacks to so many matches between Okada and Tanahashi throughout the course of the years that were part of the story. But it was interesting to see Okada finally break Tanahashi's fighting spirit. But in order to do that, he had to be the Rainmaker. He couldn't be this AEW concoction of whatever Kazuchika Okada is. He had to be the real Rainmaker in order to finally put Tanahashi down. Like, there's something beautiful in that. Like, it just the symmetry that they brought together throughout this entire match. I thought it was fantastic. I absolutely love this match. It's not going to be a 5-star match that people are going to talk about for decades. But as far as a retirement match for Hiroshi Tanahashi, I thought it was almost perfect.
It was a good way to go, put it that way. Vet, how do you feel? Do you agree with Jargo? Was this the best way to go? And did the match live up to your expectations?
Yeah, it was the best. It was the only way. It just had to be this. Even if had they done what they talked about with Nakamura, that wouldn't have been this. So I'm glad it was this.
You think so?
Yeah, Nakamura's not that good. You know,
I mean, back in the day, he used to be. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I know, but we're not talking about back in the day.
That's true.
We're talking about now.
Nakamura couldn't carry Tanahashi to this match.
Yeah, no
At
way.
this point in his career.
Right.
No, that's true.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Nakamura was carried. You know, that's what I'm saying, young Nakamura was still carried. So you just have to understand that. These guys have wrestled on a major stage in like a big profile match like this somewhere around 20 times, probably less, just like a little bit less. They have 20 major main event matches. They've all been excellent. I remember because you guys were watching a lot of this, you know, when it was happening, but I came in a little bit later. I didn't start watching until 2017. Oh, really? But I watched a lot from 2017. I watched everything from 2017, and I went back and I watched some stuff, and I watched all their matches, like their historic series of matches, you know. And one of the things I found interesting when I was watching it is because everybody kind of remembers the Rainmaker shock, right? They always talk about that. They always bring that up, which is when Okada basically won the belt with his second match back, right? His first match, though, was at Wrestle Kingdom against who, Jargo?
Yoshi Bon Jovi.
That's right.
You love him still, don't you? Don't you, Jargo?
And that match was the absolute drizzling shit. So you can imagine everybody being scared for Okada the same way we're scared for guys like Uemura, but the difference with Uemura and guys like him is that they've had a much longer time to prove themselves, and they've proven that they don't have it. But the match with Tanahashi where he ended up being the Rainmaker, that match started out, in my estimation when I'm watching it, that match started out kind of sucking also. And I was like, wait a minute, does Okada suck? And then, like almost like a light switch, Okada became excellent in the match. and he won the match eventually. And I was wondering, like, now, like, years and years removed and watching hundreds of Okada matches since, like, retroactively and thinking about how he's so good, I was thinking, did he engineer that? Well, did he suck on purpose just to get everybody, like, off the scent of that this is going to be the biggest upset in the company's history, or one of them? Like, did he actually do that? Like, to where he had people thinking, not only does he not deserve this, but there's no way he's going to win because he can't, like, he sucks. Like, he's lucky to be Yoshihashi. I can't put it past him. I'm probably wrong, but if he made like a deathbed confession.
It sounds far-fetched, but honestly, I can see it.
Right. You can see it.
The way
There's some doubt there.
Went.
Yeah. And these guys have had so many great matches. I think my personal favorite was the one from Invasion Attack. I don't know if you guys would remember it specifically as a match, but it was really, I think it was around 2012 or something like that. So if you want to go back and if anybody wants to go back and look it up, Invasion Attack, whatever year that was, because it's not like one of their regular shows they kept doing. But that match was really good. But these guys have been through so much, and you know, the story's changed from like the young lion trying to beat the old lion to like the old lion can't get it done anymore to, you know, whatever. And like, or till the old lion actually gets it done again, even though we thought the young lion had knocked him off, but he came back to knock off the young lion type thing. There's been so many great stories over the years that we've gotten to witness. 2013?
2013.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
That's Tanahashi versus Okada 4.
Yes, that sounds exactly right. But just something about that match in particular, the way they did it I felt was really brilliant. But the thing about Tanahashi is, like, obviously he's still got the brain for it. It's only that his wheels literally have fallen off. Now he rode them till they fell off, and this is where we're at. But if he still had his knees, you know, he could still do it. But the thing is, in this match, we didn't really get robbed of anything, Tanahashi. And when he came off the top with the high fly float to the outside, that was as good as anything he's ever done. Sure. He only had to do it the one time, and he did it early to make sure that he could do it, but he did it. And what we talk about on the Wreckage, Jimmy, the other day is how Okada can have your match because he's not going to hurt you.
Right.
You know, when you're at the end of your run and you can barely do anything, but you can do just enough, Okada does not have any match that you can't have. He's engineered his entire career around being able to have his match no matter who it is, whether it's somebody that can do anything or somebody that can do nothing. His match never changes, and that's one of the reasons that he's a genius, because he knew he's going to be facing guys at the end of their careers just as much as he's facing guys at the start of their careers. Right. And he can't have to dumb himself down or make them look bad. So that's why he does the things that he does. And then on top of that, he made them all make sense, because everything he does is centered around your neck and head, because his finish is a clothesline, which is a bump anyone can take. No matter, he could have had Hulk Hogan's match right before he died. He could have pulled Hulk Hogan off his deathbed and had a match with him, because that's just how good he is. So this match, even though it looked like you could tell Tanahashi's in a lot of pain and its time is up, but the match itself on paper was the same match that they've always had. And so that's why it was great that they were able to deliver that one last time. And most people don't get a last match this good. So
in the chat here, the tribute callback spots are so cliche. Really? They worked here. They worked here because he only did 2 of them, and it was for the other 2 triplets. One for Shibata and one for Nakamura. I agree. They are incredibly cliche, and most of the time they don't work. In this instance, I absolutely thought they worked.
I agree with that. I think they worked too. Was there more you wanted to say?
Not about the match in particular. No. If we want to take another moment to reflect on Tanahashi, I would ask you guys this: is he is Tanahashi, apart from obviously Antonio Inoki, is he the most important person in New Japan's company, the entire history of it?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a tough one, man. There's been
taking
a few
everything into account
guys.
in terms of, you know, what he's meant for business and his, you know, his international reach and everything else.
Definitely has international reach. Yeah, look, of course you got to put him up there though. You have to. Absolutely. Like I said before, he did single-handedly bring back New Japan from the depths of hell, pretty much.
And that, well, I want to bring up a point on that, because you could make the argument that what Tanahashi did for New Japan when he elevated their business and brought the business up, and people compare that to John Cena, like Jargo said, people compare him in a lot of ways to John Cena. And one of the ways is people said that he put the WWE on John Cena's back as well. And I feel like what that did was elevate John Cena. And I don't think the company ever recovered to the point that they got purchased. So, you know, if you want to look at it that way, now I know New Japan eventually went back down the toilet or whatever, but I'm just saying, you know, like Tanahashi's, the rise of Tanahashi necessarily lifted New Japan, I think. Whereas in WWE during John Cena's run, they were booing him and they wanted, you know, the Attitude Era back. So that's just a thought.
No, it's well said. Jargo, before we do finish up the show, do you agree?
I don't know. I'd have to think on this one, because
there's a tough one.
It's a tough one, but there's also, like, when I think of it as like a fully encapsulating thing, like some of the names that are coming to mind for me, Liger is absolutely.
Well, I want to point out, I said apart from Inoki.
Yeah,
apart from Inoki, he's definitely the most important person.
Yeah, I know,
clearly, but I mean, like, I would put Tiger Mask way higher than I think a lot of people would. I would put Liger a lot higher.
But technically, with
Tiger Mask, the gimmick.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you start getting into the marketing, when you start getting into the merchandise, when you start getting into the video games and the animes, and I mean, like, the Tiger Mask franchise, there's a reason we're on like Tiger Mask number 4. Like they will keep passing that gimmick on because it makes them so much money. I thought for years, and I still think it probably would have been better for his career than where he's at right now, they should have made Shooter the new Jushin Liger.
There was talk of that too.
Put him in that bodysuit, put him underneath of that mask, and let Shooter go to town. I think he would have done a lot better as a talent than where he's at right now.
But
I don't know. That's an interesting.
Liger want that though. Say Jargo.
Well, no, clearly not. I mean. Yeah. And Liger absolutely strikes me as the kind of person that would be like, nope, I own the gimmick. It's mine, not yours.
Sure.
You know, I could totally see that.
Yeah. Well, look, if they put that suit on Shooter, it's still Shooter under there.
Yeah, that's true.
Have you guys noticed there's a
new Dozan would absolutely be on that list?
Yeah.
I mean, like,
but New Japan didn't exist when he.
Right. I mean,
he's the father of all Japanese wrestling in a way, but
yeah.
But I just mean since the establishment of New Japan and Antonio Inoki and everything like that,
and John Baba for All Japan as well.
He's definitely the John Cena. Like, he brought them into the era. He saved the company. He put the company on his back. I mean, like, it's absolutely a case to be made, and he's definitely on the short list.
And what makes him even greater, he's a fine human being, man. Like, I got to meet him, and I'll never forget that interaction, because he really is. You feel it too. You feel his aura, man, of how good of a guy he really is.
Also, make no mistake that Tanahashi was always just as much of a politician behind the scenes as John Cena.
Absolutely. It's pro wrestling,
Tanahashi
man.
held the game to that spot for a very long time. He wasn't letting it go. Somebody had to come and take it from him.
100%.
Which, ironically enough, was Kazuchika Okada.
There you go. I mean, but look, that's just wrestling, though. That's how it is. That's how it always will be. You know what I mean? And there's nothing personal about that, even if there are guys that probably look at him that way. But if you don't know how to play the game, then you're not going to succeed in pro wrestling. Unfortunately, as crap as that sounds. You know what I mean? Because I would hate to play that game myself if I was in wrestling. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. It is the Sharks game. But he definitely is one of the most important factors ever for New Japan Pro Wrestling, no doubt about it. And I guess we can actually take it home from now. But before we
there is just briefly, I guess, the parade of characters that we saw after the match.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Right, please.
I mean, when that was really kind of a who's who of
Kenny. Jay White, even
it's really two generations of New Japan removed from Tanahashi when you start introducing Ospreay and Jay White. I consider them in the generation after Okada and Omega, even though it's all very, very close together. But Tanahashi was a huge part in all of those guys' careers. And think of how different New Japan Pro Wrestling would be right now if all those guys were still in New Japan.
It would be the number 2 company 100% at the very least.
That's what AEW has really done to the professional wrestling landscape.
Right.
When you look at Ospreay and Jay White and Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi, Kazuchika Okada, like
crazy.
It's a hell of a roster, and they all left New Japan Pro Wrestling.
And they make them look like shit still. Like if they were like booked the way they were booked in New Japan, AEW would absolutely be the company, in my opinion. But unfortunately,
I don't think it's the booking, though. The problem's not the booking. The problem is the presentation.
But in what way? Is in like they're not telling you who they are properly? They're not giving you anything.
Look at Okada. How many matches has Okada lost in AEW? I believe the answer is 2. Yeah, 2 probably. Yeah, as far as I. So the booking is not the problem. It's the presentation.
Yeah, look, Okada looks like. Look, I think he's been booked in all right. Shit, he doesn't lose, right? But he should be higher up the card, in my opinion, still. You know what I mean? But still, he can't exactly complain. But he is a different aura. When you watch him in New Japan, you watch him in AEW, it's 2 different things. And I hate that, you know what I mean? Because he's not perceived as the guy in AEW like he is in New Japan. Do you feel the same way in that sense?
Oh, of course, but it's all the same thing we said again about the presentation of New Japan, showing you the program. Yep. I mean, they're just showing you the program. Everybody looks like they're somewhat important, you know?
Yeah, because they've got a package before every fucking match.
They tried to make David Finlay look important, you know, and their degree of success varies, but that it's the best he's ever gonna look. Let's put it that way. And so, yeah, but that's beside the point. You got all these guys coming out to pay tribute, and I know that there's reasons. I don't agree with any of them, and I don't believe in any of them that they couldn't have been circumvented if they wanted to, but Nakamura should have been there. You can't not have the 3 Musketeers there. It felt wrong. It felt wrong for him not to be there.
The 3 WWE talents that I felt like should have been there were Finn Balor, AJ Styles, and Shinsuke Nakamura.
100%. But
yeah, and I understand, you know, you're not going to send all those guys, but like I said, it's because of that was the 3 guys.
Should have.
Yeah, he belonged there. Everybody should have seen that. That's much more important than whatever bullshit they got going on. And it's just one night. It doesn't mean anything. Right. But Tanahashi only gets to retire one time. Oh, hopefully. Well, he's not going to get a ceremony like this if he tries to go out and come back again. You know, they're not going to do all this again. That's not going to happen. So it is the one ceremony he's going to get. And it would have been nice for, you know, Shibata and Nakamura to have been there together with him, for a nice picture or whatever. That he belonged there.
Absolutely agree. I'm surprised he wasn't there, actually.
What do you make of the Naito thing?
I was happy to see him back just quietly. I was glad that we saw him and he put the flowers down. That was a cool moment, man.
Just like it was done after all the other tributes. It was like its own little thing all together. Like,
yeah, but
I don't know.
Did they think it was maybe just because they thought it would be the biggest surprise?
Well,
maybe. Like we thought, like it's all over now. We're getting ready for the speech, and then
right.
And that would be very like him to be late And Tanahashi was even making motions with the watch, like hurry this thing along.
I did think it was interesting that they started with Naito's New Japan music, and then it quickly changed to the new music. The same with the Tron. And I did think it was hilarious that Naito waited long enough for Tanahashi to stand in the middle of the ring and hear a sold out Tokyo Dome chant Naito's name. Just like, I'm sending a message to the president of New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm still a big deal. Look at how much these people love me. How are you not having me on this show? Like it felt very
political
Naito thing to do.
right.
Yeah. But the reality of it is, I mean, the reality of it is he can't go anymore either.
No, he's done. His legs are short.
He's like, I'll probably never wrestle in this ring again. And then quickly cut to Tanahashi. He's just like, yeah. You're not going to wrestle here ever again. Like, you can just see it on his face.
I hope that's not the last time, but like Vet said, it's true. He's been done really for a good 4 years now, man. At this point,
his knees are shot, his eyes are shot.
Right.
I mean, you can't see what you're doing, and you can't do what you're doing. It presents to be a little bit of a problem. I did love Bushi misting the flowers. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. I popped for that.
That was cool. That was definitely cool. And we did get a who's who pretty much of the last generation of New Japan Pro Wrestling wrestlers and legends, of course. But it was cool. I didn't cry, by the way, Zane, not like I did with Jushin Thunder Liger, I'm not going to lie. Only because of Suzuki. When he bowed down, that was a moment for me. Call me a mark, call me whatever you want. That got
Suzuki
me.
Tried to literally murder Jushin Thunder Liger.
So much, man. The way he just, you know what I mean? That you can never book a better retirement match than that, in my opinion. That is the best retirement match I ever saw in my life. Just because of the drama of it and just the psychology of it and the story behind it, it was just too good. But nevertheless, this was still great. Just wasn't as good as Liger's retirement. And Liger did deserve that sort of,
absolutely
retirement match, 100%. Well, fellas, before we go,
Tanahashi literally became a parade float at the end, where they pushed him around the entire arena.
But that's still, it's so him though, man. At the same time,
yeah, it was. It was all very fitting. I appreciate it. And I know we're not going to spend, we're almost done here. And we don't want to spend any time on New Year's Dash really other than what we already talked about. But I did want to say, because I did watch that main event, like I'm the guy.
How was that not on the Wrestle Kingdom card?
Because we need a Rumble. So I am known as the guy that's 5 years ahead, but I've already told you for like at least a couple years that when you're looking to the next guy that can do anything he wants in this business, it's Oscar. It's been Oscar.
Really?
Yes, 100% it's Oscar. Yes.
So really? I was watching Oscar this morning, and I was trying to decide, am I watching the next Undertaker or am I watching the next Baron Corbin?
Nope. Ooh. It's neither one of those.
I hope you're right.
He's not like anybody I've never seen a guy this tall, this coordinated, who can sell, who can move. He moves like he's 5'9", but he doesn't wrestle like he's 5'9". That's the difference. A lot of times when big guys could do athletic things, they try to do it. He doesn't, but I can tell by the way he moves that he can. I've never seen a guy with this good of a footwork. I've never seen a guy that can lay his shit in like this that looks good and is safe. I've never seen a guy get over with basics. I've never seen anybody quite like this guy. He's got the height. He's got a natural physique, like he doesn't look like he's ever taken a steroid in his life. He speaks 3 languages. He could cut a promo. There's nothing this guy doesn't do. So the only obstacle that's in his career is literally every booker on this planet.
And I want to see Yuto and Oiwa fight for the next 25 years. I really think Yuto is like a perfect villain. Like I feel like that guy could play that character heel for the next 15 years and then become Yujiro Takahashi and do it for another 15 years, just lower on the card. And I think Oiwa is going to be one of their top 3 baby faces 5 years from now.
OE was also gotten fat.
he has that.
The dog agrees.
Millie agrees. He has that connection with the crowd that Shooter and Uemura wish they had. There's something about Oiwa and the crowd that just clicks.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Oh,
but
the dogs are pissed.
They're pissed.
Yeah, they hear you putting over Oiwa. They're not going to stand for this.
Damn shame. They have no taste.
Yeah, but yeah. So no. Just you can remember. This is the show that I told everybody. Oscar, watch for Oscar.
Oscar with a K, by the way.
Oscar with a K.
Yep. Yeah. Not with a C.
He could be he's got a big place in the future if he wants it, and if anybody wants him. So
how old is he? Because he looks very young, man. Like 21,
like 26 or 27.
What? Shit, he's got a baby face for like 26.
Yeah, he's young. He's young. He's tall. I'm telling you, he checks all the boxes. There's not a box he doesn't check. You name a box. Name a box.
I got to look at him even more carefully now that you said that. When I first saw him, I was like, I hope they're not trying to replace Hikuleo with this kid, right? You know what I mean? That's what.
Oh, that guy sucks. This guy. No. Nobody's ever been this good, this young, this big. Nobody ever. Nobody.
Now that I think back on it, he did look good in the ring. He actually did. My first impression, though, because I never seen him before this show, I was just like, who the hell is this kid? You know what I mean? And he
promo's good, artist. Promo's good. He speaks 3 languages. He'll cut a promo in German, Japanese, or English.
Japanese, too. He can actually speak.
He speaks Japanese now because he's been living there and studying. So he's totally, yeah, dude, this is like, there's like a money program with Walter in the future. It's got so much money on it.
And he's
however
German
they want to
background?
do it.
Is he German background, technically?
Yeah.
That would be even more interesting. If he does have a program with Walter or Gunther, whatever you want to call him, that might be something. Hopefully
he's better than Brock. He's better than Brock, even though it's different. Brock Lesnar's not different. Brock Lesnar's some weird. He's like some mutant freak.
He's just all presence. That's what it is with Brock, man. There's nothing wrong with that, though. I mean, that works too. You know what I mean? If you got it. So, but yeah, it's different. And you're right. He's a freak because he is. He's a freaking freak. But anyway, fellas, I want to look into him even more. I remember seeing him one time a while back. But again, I didn't think really much of him. But for you to say that, Vet, that's a big deal. You don't just say that, and it's and you don't mean it. So
well, look what other people are doing that I've given the stamp of approval.
Right, it's true. I mean, that's true. But you know what? We got to thank Jargo for that one too. So
a little bit.
It's true.
A little bit
on the pulse.
That was it was for the people that don't know the history of Look at Her. It all started on the Destino podcast with Jargo, where I watched an episode of Stardom, not even by his request, but just to be a good sport as a guest, and we ended up talking about the Stardom ladies, and I was like, I said on that show, how many years ago that was, I said, and Jargo will remember, I said, anybody that's serious about women's wrestling will hire Julia right now.
I remember it.
That was like 5
100%.
years ago.
I can't believe time has flown that quick, fellas. But there's one more thing I wanted to say now. It left my mind. I was to you, Jargo, but it doesn't matter now. It's irrelevant. If I remember, I'll just text it to you. But in saying that, fellas, I guess it's time to take it home. We did do a perfect 2 hours. We did come on later than we should have, but it is what it is. But that's all right. You get to see, I know, me and Vet a lot more tonight, right here on the same network. Jargo, feel free if you want to join us tonight, but I know you got work. Yeah, so I don't blame you, but I'm just happy that you did join us, man. So, Jargo, I'll start with you. Actually, tell them where they can find you and what you're doing in the future, if you're doing anything when it comes to podcasting.
Well, I will tell you all the same thing that I tell everybody when I do a guest spot on a podcast. Don't find me on social media. Chances are I don't want to talk to you, but instead, Twitter, and look up at the Opinion Gather. If you want to sit and talk professional wrestling, the Vet is your guy.
Yeah, he loves being found, right? I mean, come on. Vet, tell them where they can't find you also. No, they can find him. He's way more accessible, actually. But
very findable. Not many people do. I guess they get enough of what I say whenever I say it. But at Opinion Haver everywhere. all your favorite social media platforms, here on HMG on all the shows I do, and go watch all the shows I tell you to watch.
Nice. As far as I go, look out for I Like a Raw tonight. Special time, 15 minutes right after Monday Night Raw finishes, where me and Big Ray will be talking all things Raw. And now, you know, this is just a one-time thing, by the way. So next week we'll be back at our normal time at 10 a.m. Eastern every Tuesday mornings for I Like a Raw. And yeah, look out for also the Impact Attack with you, Vet, also with Brandon, also talking all things Impact. Could it be a record quick show? Like Vet said earlier, I don't know.
I think I could do it in a neat 15.
If you do it in 15 minutes, you're the man. I'm telling you now. I think that'll be an all-time record that will never be broken. And yeah, so go check that out at 9:30 p.m., correct?
Yes. Eastern
Every
and 6:30
Monday night.
Pacific.
That's right. Every Monday night, check that out. And yeah, that's about it. So in saying that, I am Jimmy T. He is the best in the world, Jamie the Vet Williams, and he is the doctor of HMG, Dr. Michael Jargo. And you've been listening and watching the Wrestle Kingdom 20 review show right here live on Hamin Media Group's YouTube channel. Until next time, peace.
Go Ace.
Go Ace.